With Richard from the European Airsoft Association. Please join us and tell us your story about this European initiative.
I think we're near before that one. There's Jane. So, okay.
So, good afternoon, everyone. So, unfortunately, the president of the EAA cannot be here because he's over in Hong Kong and living a good life. So, I've been sent in his place to go through everything. And at the end, of course, if you have any questions, I'll try to answer them. If not, we can make contact via email or links. So, I do have a script here that has been written for me, so I'll just go through that. Sorry if I make any mistakes. So, hello, my name is Richard Lewis. I'm the Public Relations Manager for the European Airsoft Association, the voice of Europe, the voice of Airsoft in Europe, sorry. And the world's only pan-continental Airsoft Association. The EAA is a non-profit federation of national Airsoft associations from all across Europe. Our core ideals revolve around democracy, representation, professionalism and openness. To ensure this, we uphold a constitution, which you can all find on our website. We're run by volunteers and an empowering force for the airsoft community and the airsoft industry alike. We encourage every player in Europe to participate in our project by involvement in their national association. We're not here to try and govern airsoft, but to help the airsoft scene expand and ensure its future. The EAA originated approximately 5 years ago and was created by the Dutch and Belgian airsoft players, many of whom are still involved in the associations NABV and the AAB. At the time, airsoft was banned in the Netherlands and there had not been much success with the Dutch government. So they tried to lobby the EU directly to highlight the huge disparity in airsoft laws across the European Union. Although the Dutch airsoft community were later successful in legalizing airsoft in their own country, it was clear that there were many advantages to maintaining a European association. Like it or not, a power transition is in progress, and gradually the European Commission is gaining more central authority and are implementing many directives which are then delegated to national governments to enact and enforce. As such, the traditional approach of lobbying state governments to protect airsoft may not be effective on its own in future. The decision to restrict or liberate airsoft could one day be decided in Brussels and not within your own parliament. So a big part of our operation is keeping tabs on the various bodies of the European Commission and keep our lines of communication with them. Actually, so far the EC has been open to the benefits of airsoft, and although recommendations to restrict firearms movements have been made, curbing the distribution of airsoft replicas isn't something the current administration are interested in, and rightly so. We also help associations talk to each other, so that each may share information and pool their resources. The reality of working in an association is that it feels like you never have enough time to make it work the way you want it to, and it will take up countless number of free evenings and weekends on selfless work that doesn't usually benefit you personally. It's tough and it's quite a commitment, but the nice thing about the EAA is that you can talk to 20 other guys from 20 different nations spread across the continent who are going through the exact same process. Their problems are similar, whether it's from police, the government, or just cynicism from the regular keyboard warriors we encounter. Another advantage of the EAA, because of strict membership policy which demands democracy and openness, achieving EAA membership becomes a badge of honor, showing the community how professionally run your association is. We are making a clear statement about the professionalism, and no doubt some associations will raise standards to enable membership. Now, airsoft comes under fire all too often. The most recent has come from the Turkish government, who have fallen back on blaming the EU for forcing anti-airsoft laws within the country. We were able to advise the TAC, the Turkish Airsoft Club, that this was in fact not the case. In the future, We all need to be more proactive in promoting the positives of Airsoft. We need to normalise Airsoft in the eyes of the public before opportunists in the media and politics demonise us. Instead of fighting back when it happens, of course, part of the positive campaign is going to involve educating users of Airsoft replicas and ensuring high standards of conduct throughout the European community. So far, we've had participation from associations in Portugal, Belgium, Romania, Latvia, Albania, Croatia, Italy, Netherlands, United Kingdom, Switzerland, Turkey, Czech Republic, Austria, Bosnia, Denmark, Ireland, Spain and Norway. It's a pretty impressive spread, but we're seeking to get the more associations in Europe involved, and we want to see associations set up in every single country. They are extremely healthy for Airsoft, and as we have discussed, the benefits are clear and we are better with every additional resourceful association. Recently, we transitioned to a new constitution and disbanded the steering committee put in place to help build momentum and get initial constitution passed. So now, we're asking everyone to reapply. As always, people running these associations are very busy and have been slow in getting new applications for membership back to us. But we do anticipate that the founding members will have been vetted and signed by the summer. Let me explain just how the EAA is structured. So the EAA is led by the president. Our current president is Matthew Fury King, who is a player from the United Kingdom, and decision making is performed by this general committee via a simple majority vote. Every association sends a representative to join the committee, and every state has a single vote. We let multiple associations join from each country because we have absolutely no right to decide who represents Airsofters in the country if we aren't a national of that country. In this case, a single national vote will be decided and cast by averaging the decision of the associations. The president selects an administrative team, which is not part of the committee, but it is essential to keeping the organisation running, and that's where I fit in as public relations officer. At the moment, we do have openings, in particular for a treasurer. So please, if you would like to get involved, come and talk with me later. As not every nation has an association, there are some whose association isn't yet involved in the EAA. We also have a set of ambassadors. What we hope for is that these ambassadors can become proactive individuals in their own country and help to form associations or push for inclusion in the states that are not currently involved in the EAA. At the very least, we'd like to use them to gather the majority opinion from communities who are currently unrepresented and also feed our progress back to those people. We only have ambassadors for France and Sweden right now, so please come and see me if you would like to help your community by becoming an ambassador. It does take money to run an association, but we are reluctant to ask for resources from our members at this moment. We're concerned that this will deter potential members in the short term. Actually, we are pursuing sporting and youth organisation grants from the EU to cover costs. With the right approach, we may actually be able to release additional funds to support other airsoft projects across Europe. In the meantime, we do need some petty cash to get by, so if you run an airsoft business that might be interested in donating a few €100 to the operating fund, then please get in contact with me after. We won't be able to give you anything kind apart from an honourable mention, as we must maintain neutrality. But it would be a big help to us at this time. Let me know that all the funds received and all the uses of these funds will be made public to remain transparent. So here's what we aim to accomplish in the next few years. Our big emphasis is on getting the structure of the EAA set firmly in place and make the EAA a solid and valuable part of the community. We'll do that by bringing as many European countries into the fold as possible, by strengthening ties with the larger bodies, and by gaining official recognition. A very common way of gaining an official status is by registering as an international association in Brussels. When we achieve this, we will become a legally registered entity in Belgium, which will give us credibility, which will open many doors for our association. So even without embarking on any other projects, we've got our work cut out for us, just securing the foundations of the association. The funny thing about airsoft players all over the world, and especially in Europe, is that we're almost exactly the same. Race, religion, politics, borders are absolutely irrelevant to airsoft, as we believe that the free movement of players, making new friends, and the exchange of ideas is extremely healthy for society. Ultimately, we want to help increase the enjoyment of the hobby for the players residing in Europe and beyond. Also, help game organizers get more players to their games. That may in the future involve tendering contracts for EAA international games and events, perhaps also recognized European championships. There is enormous potential for a Europe-wide association. We are, as a small side note, keeping an eye on the situation regarding Directive 2011/65/EU, the regulation of substances hazardous to health, or ROHS. Unfortunately, our members see this as a UK problem, as it has not yet affected any other country. We don't have the mandate to take much action. Matt, our president, has been to visit the government department responsible for enforcing and is very happy to discuss the situation if anyone wants to get in touch. Now, the hot topic in the EAA at the moment is practical shooting. There have been suggestions for new rules sets, recognized championships with rounds at national and international level, and the EAA is certainly well placed to make this happen. We're keen to help any project which gets people out and playing, be it war games, target shooting, or anything else. So anyway, that's an overview of where we have come from and where we are, what we are about and where we would like to be. If any of you would like to chat to myself or Matt about any subject, or if you have ideas, suggestions, questions, or want to help out, or just say hi, please do grab me afterwards, or email us, or post on the forum or website. We're here to network. But the most important message we'd like you to bear in mind at the IWA is that there are bigger things at stake for our community than the latest guns and gear. We need you to get involved in your national association. And when your association joins the EAA, all of us will stand in solidarity with over 100,000 fellow players. Thank you for your time. Now, I do actually have a few extra things I wanted to sort of ask while we're here. How many of you are actually based in Europe? And just show of hands or something. Okay, how many of you actually play Airsoft? Even better, well done. Have any of you actually looked into the EAA so far at the moment? Do you know much about it? How many of you agree that it seems like a pretty good idea, that it's something that we can all work on together? I was expecting more hands than that. If you don't agree, just put your hand up anyway. Well, hopefully we can go into more detail on our Facebook page and on the website we've got up on screen. What I would really appreciate is if as many of you as possible could kind of get on there, take a look at what's going on and try to include yourselves as much as possible. Or if you don't have that much time, then to at least put the message out to everyone else that you know. The more people that we can get involved and get online and keeping an eye on everything that we're doing, the more success we're going to have later on. Is there any questions that anyone has on the way the EA works at the moment? Okay. I guess that's it from me. Again, I'll be here after if anyone needs to talk to me directly. Thank you very much.
Thank you.